Hey, this is Shane with the Social Freedom Tribe. I wanted to do a video, and I think I'll call it How to Never Make a Mistake. And so I asked this Facebook question of, hey, what topics related to confidence can I talk about on a YouTube video? My friend Eric answered with this YouTube video that I really enjoyed, and I clicked on it, and I'll put the video here. Hopefully I figured out how to link things onto videos. So now this video is really incredible, and what the speaker ended up talking about was how to stay into the zone, and then went into judgmentalness. And I really was enjoying this because the speaker had this piano in front of them, and he was just showing what it's like to play dissonant notes. Dissonant meaning this weird, creepy kind of sounds that's less like that sound and more like like this weird, creepy thing. Oh, that was a funny noise. So this also goes into like the fact that I just stuttered. It's cool. It's like, how do I quickly accept something just happened and then adapt to it? Or adaptation to me is quick acceptance and then knowing what to do from that and taking action from that. So when some kind of mistake happens, you're playing piano, let's say you're playing piano, and there's this certain plan that you have, and then you play this note that is dissonant. How fast can you accept that it happened? Or are you in resistance to it? So let's say you're also doing comedy improv, and you're doing something and somebody else throws something in, and you're just like, I didn't want that to happen. I wish it was something else. Why the person have to do that? I had this whole plan. So you're in resistance to that happening. It happened. There's no point in asking these questions of, or saying, oh, I didn't want that to happen or anything. That's not helping you adapt to it. That's you being in resistance to it already having happened. And so you're in resistance to this happening, and so you're not accepting. And quick acceptance is noticing that it happened, accepting that this is reality. This happened, I am here now, and I had this plan, and now this is thrown in, so what do I do from it? And then the question of what do I do from it starts to go into adaptation. When you start taking action after accepting that this has happened, you're in quick acceptance and then quick coming up with what to do from that new wrench that was thrown in, then that to me is adaptation. And so when we play something and there's some kind of mistake, quote unquote, then it's really only a mistake if we're the ones calling it a mistake. And so the musician in this video that I pointed out earlier, hopefully, he talked about how when the musician plays these notes and is just in complete acceptance of himself or herself or themselves, then the audience can feel it through the music. And it really feels beautiful to the audience because this person is accepting of themselves, so it gives the audience more allowance to accept themselves completely. And so when we stop seeing what we do as a mistake, and then we just integrate it in by quickly adapting, and then we just drop our judgmentalness and just anything could happen here. There's no real path that needs to happen. There's nothing that could be called a mistake. Then really anything is allowed in this. And then when we stop this judgmentalness of mistake, 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 then really there are no mistakes. It's just our own criteria that is saying this is a mistake and this is success. When we drop that, then there's this open space of creativity that really anything could happen. And so there's this concept or I don't know what you would call it, but concept of yes and, where anything that anybody brings, you'll say yes, and. So this is used because you don't want, because it's a practice of not arguing with what is or what somebody's bringing, and you just try to integrate anything that anybody brings. And it's a really fun practice, because when you start integrating all this stuff and then you say and then you add your piece to it, then it's this collage, and it's this coming together of the group through you, and it's really beautiful to see. And you also start kind of tripping out, because just nothing really seems like a mistake. Nothing really seems, the logical categories kind of wash away, and then there's just a bunch of physical beings saying and doing things, and then you start to realize that it was your own brain that was saying, that's a tree, that's a chair, this is hair, this is eyes. It's not that this is eyes and this is hair. It's that there's this stuff, this physical stuff that we're seeing, and we're labeling it. And if we see actions, or we hear certain words, or we hear stuttering, or we see something, then we're the ones labeling it a mistake, or we're the ones labeling it hair. And so when we start practicing getting out of that and just being in this creative space of any dissonant noise can happen, and we just integrate it, and then it's like dun 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 ding, rung, and then something really beautiful can happen out of that. And it doesn't feel like a mistake, because when you start playing with it, you accept that it happens and go from there extremely quick. Then it just feels like it was meant to be there. And yeah, I really resonate with what he said, because when I go out and I just socialize, I really like to let myself loose. And there's these things that usually my usual self would actually find dissonant and just say, oh, I said that, or something. But if I just accept it, keep moving on, then other people kind of accept it. Really, I've also found this with facilitation, is that when people are kind of looking towards the facilitator to understand what just happened. And there's actually a huge problem with this called the bystander effect, where basically when a bunch of people are walking by somebody, let's say somebody's like this, they're not moving, and they're laying against the wall, and they're just not moving, then people tend to see that this is happening, and they might actually ask, is this person dead? Or do they need a hospital? Do they need an ambulance? But they'll judge it. They'll stay calm, and they'll look to other people to judge how they should react and respond to the situation. And then when they see that other people are calm, then they're saying, oh, yeah, nothing wrong's happening. I'm going to be calm as well. But the same thing is, they're looking at you doing the same thing. Is this person dead? Huh, that person's calm. Or other people are calm. And when you're a facilitator, it's kind of, your participants usually just kind of look to you to understand the situation. Was that a mistake? Or was that completely fine? Was that great? What is that? Was that good? Was that bad? They'll start to look towards the facilitator, usually, I've found, and just to get an idea of, is that bad? Is that good? Was that a mistake? Was that not a mistake? And when the facilitator is just completely accepting of his self, or herself, or themselves, and it just allows the participants to really accept themselves. And if you just have this face of just pure acceptance and not seeing anything as a mistake, then the participants start to do that as well. And especially for new participants, because new participants might join a group and they say, what are the rules in this environment? What's happening? What am I supposed to do? What's the usual way to respond to this? And I think it's a great way, because we actually really learn how to quickly join a group in that method. And at the same time realizing that that's what's going on for that person. And when the facilitator is a lot more accepting of themselves and just accepting of just anything that could happen, then it really creates this space, this container where nothing is seen as a mistake. Anyways, I hope this helps. I love you guys. Have fun. Check out that video. It's pretty incredible. Peace out. And thank you, Eric, for giving that to me. Have fun. See ya.